Hi, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be making some baby clothes. If this is the first time you're seeing one of my videos, my name's Rachel. Thanks for stopping by. I like to make stuff here, and since I've primarily been sewing lately, you can expect to see a little bit of personal style chit chat here too. Okay, so I am currently 35 weeks pregnant, 35 and a half weeks pregnant. So we're getting pretty close. So I haven't quite packed my hospital bag yet, but I am starting to kind of prepare a little bit. So I thought it'd be fun if today I made a couple cute little outfits for my second daughter, who will be arriving hopefully soon, hopefully in the next few weeks. Her and my 5-year-old daughter will be sharing a bedroom. So I've been starting to kind of put that together, wash some things that we've taken out of storage. And that brings us to the sponsor of today's video, Flexi Spot. So we kept quite a bit of stuff from my 5-year-old daughter from when she was a baby, and we've just had it in storage. And we've been packing it with us for our cross-country moves over the past couple years. And one thing that I knew I wanted to replace this time around was my nursery chair. So the chair that I picked out for my first daughter was not reclining or anything. I just thought that I would want something that rocked and was comfy to sit in. And after she was born, I quickly realized why people got recliners for their nurseries. I spent several nights in the first few months to a year of my daughter's life sleeping on her floor, some nights just kind of like holding her because it was the only way she would sleep. And that is when I really wished that I had a recliner. So this time around, I knew that I wanted to replace that chair and get a recliner finally. And Flexi Spot reached out to me at the perfect time, and they sent me their super comfy Lotus recliner. We set it up in the nursery the other day and it looks super cute. As you can see, it has a really pretty design. It's really nice and wide, so it's great for my daughter and I to both sit on next to each other. My daughter and I have already loved sitting together on this seat, reading books, snuggling, feeling baby move around, and it'll be so nice that all of us can still fit in it once baby arrives too. And the armrests are really soft and low, so I could even sit cross-legged in this too. It's been really nice to hang out with my daughter when she's playing in her room and edit videos, check emails on my laptop, all while sitting cross-legged. It's been really hard to get comfortable, and this makes it super easy. This chair offers effortless reclining. Mine has a reclining handle, but you can also get an electric version with a button. And since I have been so exhausted lately, it's been really nice to just be able to lay back, cozy up, and take a break in this chair. As you can see, this recliner rocks back and forth, and it also swivels a full 360 degrees. And a little bonus feature that I really love is that it has a little storage compartment on the side. Right now, I have burp cloths in there, but it has plenty of room that you can store a lot of other stuff in here too. Overall, this chair is just super comfy and makes a perfect addition to our nursery. If you want to get one for yourself, make sure to use my link in the description below, along with the coupon code LOTUS30 to get $30 off. Thank you so much, Flexi Spot, for sponsoring today's video, and now onto the fabric. Okay, so here is the fabric for both projects that I'm doing. I'll start with this one right here. So this is a really comfy, cozy knit that I found. It's like this really nice light teal and kind of, I don't know, charcoal gray against like an off-white background. And so on this side, there are little dots, and then on this side, it's stripes. So I thought it'd be fun to make something with like cuffs, something that could be kind of reversible. And for this fabric, I'm going to use this pattern right here to make a wrap set. As you can see, there are a few different options here. I think I'm going to be making a long sleeve wrap top along with some little pants. I learned with my first daughter that I really like wrap onesies. It's really nice because especially if they have like blowouts or they spit up or something on themselves, you don't have to pull it up over their head. You can just unbutton it and take it off of them. And I do have some off-white jersey that I'll probably do that bias tape binding with around the edges. Also with this top, it does have snaps. So I'm going to be using this little contraption for the first time. So I've never used snaps before on anything. So I ordered a little set and I'm going to be using it for the first time. So wish me luck. And then to go with the top, I'm going to be making a pair of little sweatpants. So I thought it'd be really cute to fold this over, to have the waistband and like the bottom little cuffs be striped like this, and then have the rest of the pants just that like dot pattern to match the top. If I have enough fabric left and the time, I want to make a little hat too and kind of do the same thing where I can fold this up and have both patterns on that too. Okay, and then next I have this fabric right here. If you saw my previous video where I made a really pretty robe out of block printed fabric, I showed this fabric too. I'm going to be making myself a robe out of this at some point, but today I'm going to be making this cute little bubble romper right here. So I figured in this double gauze fabric, it'd be really nice to make a bubble romper that can be worn by itself in warm weather, or it can be layered under for like the fall and winter months here. Since baby's due in August, it can be a little bit warmer in August and September and October. October, and then it cools down a little bit in November. So far this summer, it hasn't been warm at all. So yeah, I think that this will be really versatile, and I just really love this fabric. So this is a double gauze cotton that I ordered from Cali Fabrics. So Cali Fabrics is actually the company that used to be Discount Fabrics in Mission that closed, and now they are online. So while I do really miss going into their store and being able to just like touch all the fabric and pick stuff out there, it is still really nice to have the option to shop them online because they do have really great prices and a really good selection of fabrics. Another thing that I really love about shopping online with Cali Fabrics is that if you pick a fabric, then you can also add a thread to your cart too, and they will match the thread for you if you ask them to. So this is the thread match that they did, and it's absolutely perfect. Super nice to have a human actually look at the thread and match it to the fabric, just because online doing that yourself is next to impossible. So yeah, this is a really nice feature about ordering fabric from Cali Fabrics, along with the price and everything too. I have pre-washed this fabric too, so you can see it's like really fluffy and textured now. When you first get it, it's pretty flat, so it is really important to pre-wash this just because it shrinks up and it becomes like textured like this when you do that. And this is how I'm going to want to cut out the fabric for my project so that it doesn't immediately shrink up the first time I wash it. So yeah, again, this is the pattern I'm going to be using. And this pattern also has snaps along the bottom, which will make it really easy for diaper changes. And then there are buttons at the back. So I could do regular buttons or I could do snaps. I probably will use snaps unless I happen to come across some really cute buttons that I have in my stash. But yeah, snaps are super convenient. So we'll see, I guess we'll see how the snaps go and all the other places. If they're super easy to put on, then I'll probably do the snaps on the back. And if they're not as easy as I'm expecting them to be, then maybe I'll do some cute little buttons. And then along with this bubble romper, I also want to make a cute little bonnet. So this is the pattern I'm going to be using for that. I have used this pattern a couple times before making bonnets for friends. And then I also made this little pixie bonnet, the like kind of pointy one on the back, for my daughter before she was born, and it was so cute on her. I just thought that this would be a really cute little accessory to go with it, and then would also go with this fabric too. I kind of unintentionally picked two fabrics that are coordinated, so it'll be kind of nice that both of the hats, if I make both hats, will go with either outfit. Okay, so now I'm gonna go cut out some fabric and then let's get started. Good morning. Okay, so last night I finished the bodice part, well, sort of finish the bodice part. So this is what it's looking like right now. Looks super cute. I did do some top stitching around the neck hole and the armholes, and it doesn't say to do that on the pattern, but I just thought with this fabric, since it is like a fluffy muslin fabric, that would just give it a little bit of definition, and when I do wash it, it won't like come out just all bunched up. I feel like if I put it in the washing machine and then took it out, I would have to press all of these edges again, and I don't really want to have to do that. I do really love the texture here right out of the wash, so this is even a little bit pressed, but yeah, I did just add that top stitching so that it'll make it easier just to take it out of the washing machine and then baby can wear it. So now for the top, all I need to do is the back part, so I need to put the snaps in, but I don't think that comes until a little bit later. So in the instructions it says to do the bottom part first. So I've got my back piece and my front piece, and we just put these together and then put the elastic in the bottom, and I think at some point we put these together. I know there's a button placket at the bottom of the bottoms too. The nice thing about sewing baby clothes is that they're so little that they come together pretty quickly. You still have all the same like little details that you have to do. And I forget how tricky it is to work with this fabric. Like if you're sewing something really simple, it can be easy, but even just this fabric, my sewing machine doesn't really like it all the time. So since it's an open weave, sometimes it'll get tangled up in this, kind of like if you were to sew over like a bunch of different threads. So yeah, it's been a process because I've had to stop and pick some things out a few times, but it's still looking really cute. It's just taking a little bit longer than it would in a different fabric. So, okay, well, I will go make some breakfast and I'll see you guys a little bit later today. Hello, good morning. Okay, so it's the next day and I finished that little romper yesterday and it turned out so cute, so I'm excited to show you guys that later in the video. But today we're going to be cutting out this fabric right here. So I think I'm going to be making this one in the 3 to 6 month. I have quite a bit of like newborn stuff right now in 0 to 3 months. I don't know. I'll do 3 to 6 months first, and then maybe if I have enough fabric left, I'll do another set in 0 to 3 months. Right now, looking at what I have a few 0 to 3 months pants, and with my first, I think she's mostly like in a onesie or something most of the time, or like zip jammies during the 0 to 3 months. So I think that this pants and top combo would be better in the 3 to 6 months. So I'm gonna make it like that first, and then maybe later on I'll want the 0 to 3 month. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna be cutting out today. And I'm gonna be using my projector because for both of the patterns I'm using in this video, there are projector files, which makes it super easy to cut out with a projector. So I'm gonna be doing that in my hallway here. I have a couple doors right here and I can close one of them, and it's dark enough to cut in here during the day. So we'll see if I get started today. We're gonna go get some lunch, and then I think we're having some friends over tonight. So I'm gonna get like the house ready, dinner ready, and everything. So we'll see if I have time to start it today, but I'm definitely gonna cut out the fabric, and then maybe even the fabric for the 2 little hats that I'm making too. We'll see. Okay. Hi, okay, so we're back from lunch and I did manage to cut out both the bottoms and the top. So I think what I'm gonna start doing is putting together the top. I'm gonna put the sleeves and the front and the back pieces together, and then hopefully I can put the binding on. I wanted to show you guys these little pieces of fabric. So they're pattern pieces for like snap reinforcement strips. And I'm just going to be using these little, I think it's like houndstooth webbing or something, but it looks like this, and it is about, I think mine's like 1 inch wide. This is the same width as the strips on the pattern, so I hope that this will work. I just picked this because it's really nice and durable and the edges are already finished. So we'll see how that goes. I also decided to do the mittens on this top. I don't know if she's actually gonna use the mittens. I think they'll be cute, at least like attached to the sleeve, since I am doing kind of like alternating prints. So I am gonna be putting those on the edges too. So I'm just gonna spend a little bit of time putting that top together, and we'll see how far we get. Okay, so I just attached this tape, but I think it's a little bit too structured for this fabric. So I'm gonna go cut out some of this jersey fabric just in the same shape, and I'm gonna take this out and then replace it with that. So I think this will be sturdy enough to give this like the reinforcement it needs, but it will still be like a nice soft squishy top. Hi, okay, so I just finished the top and it turned out so cute. All I needed to do was all of the binding around the edges, which is the same way that I did around the sleeves. And then I added the buttons to it. So now I have this little pile of fabric for the pants, and the pants look pretty easy to put together. So even though it's kind of late, I think that I can get started and we'll see if I finish these. The main construction of the shirt came together really quickly, so I imagine that this will be fast, but who knows. We'll see how far I get. Hey, okay, it's been a few days since I finished up these sewing projects. I'm now 37 weeks pregnant, so I guess that's officially full term. We're hoping she stays in for a couple more weeks just for the finishing touches. But yeah, I'm starting to feel kind of ready. We've washed a bunch of clothes. I've kind of packed a hospital bag. The car seat is in the car. And now I have these cute little outfits to show you guys. Okay, so here's the first one. It turned out so cute. So yeah, this double gauze fabric, it's kind of tricky to work with. I had made a little jacket out of similar fabric for my 5-year-old daughter when I was pregnant with her, and that was before I had a lot of practice sewing. So it was really frustrating because having such an open weave, it sometimes like gets tangled up in my sewing machine and also tends to fray quite a bit. So I was really excited with how this turned out because I was just really gentle with it. And here is the front. I love these little flutter sleeves, I guess. So you can make this with or without these. And then there's also an option to put them on the leg holes too. So I just did regular leg holes just to make it simple. And then I put these little flutter sleeves on the top. So yeah, this is what it looks like from the front. I did add some top stitching along the neck hole and the armholes just because with this fabric, I don't really ever want to have to press this because it'll flatten this texture. So the top stitching just kind of keeps it all neat looking even without having to be pressed, and then also will keep the lining from popping out. Now you could understitch this instead, but I think that the top stitching looks cute. I made it like a 1/4 inch around so it looks like really intentional, but yeah, that's what it looks like at the top. And then the bottom is really cute too. So yeah, these are the leg holes and they're nice and stretchy so they'll be comfortable, and then there is a button placket at the bottom here so it'll be easy for diaper changes. And I added these snaps, and the snap tool was magical. It was so easy to use, so much easier than I thought it was going to be. You don't even really have to squeeze that hard for them to be pretty secure. So yeah, it'll be nice to be able to just unbutton these for a diaper change and then button them back up. And these snaps are pretty heavy duty. They really hold. Like I'm kind of nervous to undo them because I'm afraid they're gonna rip them out of the fabric. But yeah, they were really easy to put on, and then I also did that on the back too. So this is what the back looks like. And then I hope that I show you guys well enough in the video. There is a little slit down here too, just to give you a little extra room to get the baby inside. I made this in a 0 to 3 month, so hopefully she'll get some like late summer fall-ish weather to wear this in. And then once it gets a little bit chillier, if she still fits in it, she can wear a little long sleeve onesie and some tights with it too. To go with this, I made this cute little bonnet. So I didn't show you guys the hats in this video, but this is what this looks like. And this is the pattern that I used for it. So you probably noticed that there isn't like a ruffle brim version of this. I really wanted to add a ruffle on the brim to match the ruffle on the ruffle of these sleeves. So what I did to make it ruffly, I just took the pattern piece. It was like 7-ish inches long, and I put an extra 3 inches in the middle. So I guess it's like 1.5 times the length of the regular pattern piece. And then I added gathering stitches on it before I attached it, and I gathered it and pinned it into place. And this is what it looked like. So it turned out really cute. There is binding along the back and there is a little tie. I have used this pattern before a few times. I have never gotten it perfect, like where these ties are attached to the hat. So it's always a little bit messy. I'm sure there are other patterns out there that have like a more clean way to attach these, and maybe someday I'll try one of those patterns. But yeah, I already had the pattern for this, so I used that pattern and it still turned out very cute. Okay, and next Look at how cute this is. So this is just the top. So this is the crossover like button snap top. So this is what it looks like. I did do the mittens in the front here. So once I put the mittens on the front, I realized that it makes more sense to put them in the back, I guess. So yeah, if I went back and I redid this, I'd probably put these on the back, but they're cute on the front. Having the mixed patterns showing on the front is cute. But yeah, I guess most of the time, I think the mittens that are attached to the bottom of sleeves are on the back. So I think that that's like the correct way to do it. But this is how I did it, and it turned out really cute. The button snaps work really great on this fabric too. So I'll unbutton this. You guys can see how that buttons on the inside. So yeah, it buttons to this side on the inside, and then this swings over and buttons on the outside. So that is the top. It turned out super cute, and the binding turned out neater than I expected it to. I did the binding a little bit different. Instead of starting on one of these corners and then going around and then ending on this corner, I attached the binding together to form a loop, and then I started it in the middle back just so that I wouldn't have this like connecting seam on the front. So you can do it either way. I just thought that this would turn out a little bit cleaner, and I really like just like the nice curve around here without any extra seams, especially since there is a snap right here. I just didn't want added bulk right where I was gonna put the snap. So yeah, I did that a tiny bit differently, and it turned out really cute. So to go with this, I made these little pants, and they are so cute. So this is the pair of pants that actually comes with the pattern, and it has a gusset in the middle. So yeah, there are 3 parts to these pants. There's the 2 legs, and then there's the gusset. And then you have this really long foldable waistband, and then also foldable leg bands too. So as baby grows, I can make them a little bit longer. When she's really little, I can have them folded up. And then the drawstring is not functional. I just thought it'd be cute, and you can add that at the same time that you're putting the waistband on, just for some style. I guess like they look like a pair of cutie little drawstring pants, but they're just regular pull-on pants. So yeah, this is what it looks like together. This came together super quickly, way faster than I thought it would. I wasn't expecting it to come together this fast, and I guess with a knit too, now that I have a serger, it makes it really fast. But yeah, for something that I really want to last, I'll usually do a zigzag stitch and serge the edge, but of course with knits you don't have to. You can just go straight at it with a serger. And then of course for all the top stitching for this bias tape binding, you have to use a regular sewing machine. So yeah, I added a zigzag stitch along that too. I love the look of like the mixed patterns. And then I also did the same thing on the hats that I made. So I actually made a few little extras with this fabric. So here is a little newborn hat. So even though this won't be worn at the same time as this will be, because this is a newborn, this is 3 to 6 months, I just thought it would be cute to have like a really soft little newborn hat in this mixed pattern. This will look really cute with just like a plain onesie or something. But yeah, this is what this hat looks like. And this is the pattern that I used for these hats. So I have another one that I made too. So yeah, this is just the single knot hat. This came together in like 15 minutes, not even. I made this really quickly. And there is a projector file with this pattern. So I was able to cut these out using my projector, which made it even faster. So here's the newborn one, just a single knot. And then I also made this one with the 2 knots, and this is in 3 to 6 months. So this is the hat that she would be wearing with the outfit that I just made. Every style is available in all the sizes, so you could make a newborn version of this hat. This just kind of reminded me of like bunny ears. My daughter loves cats, so she thought that this looked like cat ears. Yeah, I just thought that that was so cute. It's basically the same construction as the other one. You just have 2 of these instead of 1. So this came together really quickly too. And then I had a tiny bit of fabric left over, so I decided to make these little mittens. So these actually come with the hat pattern too, and I made these in the newborn size too. So this is the smallest version of them. They were super easy to make. I guess the trickiest part about making these little mittens is doing all of the stitching around this part, just because it's so little. It's hard to get it under my serger. I didn't use a regular sewing machine for this at all. I just serged the edges to make it a little bit easier on myself. Also, I don't really know how much use these are gonna get. I had several pairs of mittens for my 5-year-old daughter when she was a baby, and they never stayed on. She never really wore them. She actually really liked to be able to like have her hands near her face and stuff, so I think mittens kind of annoyed her. So my guess is we probably won't use these to like avoid scratching as much as if we're like going outside on a walk and it's kind of chilly, then I'll probably put these on her hands. But yeah, I've heard similar stories from other parents
Mittens sound like a great idea. They are a great idea, but a lot of the time they don't really stay on. I thought it'd be fun to at least make a pair. Maybe when she's older, she'll think these are cute and I can show them to her. They were really easy to make. I probably made these in like 15 minutes too. So overall, I love how these turned out. They turned out even better than I expected. I never know how I'm gonna do with like such little fabric pieces, but these ended up looking really polished. So I was telling my husband as I was making this, I was like, wow, I feel like I have actually gotten better at sewing in the past 5 years. I know that that's usually what happens when you practice something all the time, but I could actually tell that I had gotten a lot better at sewing when I was making this, because working with this type of fabric was really, really challenging for me a long time ago when I did it. But this time I was just really patient and took my time and just had a better idea of how I was supposed to handle this fabric. So I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. It turned out really professional looking, and especially with the snaps. I'm definitely gonna be using a lot more snaps in the future. And then with this, I was really surprised with how this turned out too, and definitely feel like all of my practice with knits has paid off in order to make something that looks nice and tidy, even in such tiny little pieces. I highly recommend both of these patterns. I'll make sure to link them below, as well as the hat patterns that I made too. And I definitely plan on making more of those too. So I'll probably make this in the newborn set. I'll probably make this in a couple sizes bigger, and then I'll also make some more matching hats. Okay, you guys, well, I think that's everything I have for you today. Like I said earlier, baby can actually arrive anytime now, which is like a little bit scary to think about, but we're also super, super excited. So who knows, maybe next time you guys see me, I won't be pregnant anymore, but chances are I probably will be. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. And thanks again to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this one. If you want to get a Lotus recliner for yourself, make sure to use my link in the description below, along with my coupon code LOTUS30 to get $30 off. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that. And if you like this video, like this video. And if you didn't like this video, I hope you like the next one. All right, well, I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.